Ooh wee, y'all. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. If anybody is a Tina Marie fan out there, then you know what ooh wee, how I'm seeing it. Anyway, y'all, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Lenon Honor. Merry Christmas. Mary Ann Lorient. Merry Christmas. CCC Cookie Crush Chat. Y'all, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Mm. Y'all, I'm not even waiting for people to come in here. Hopefully, y'all may just see this on what we called in Clubhouse the replay. I don't know what they call it on YouTube, but maybe here on Clubhouse we call it the replay. So I'm not sure what we call it here on YouTube, but let's get started. So I'm just going to say, let me add her to the stage.
Family.
Okay. I'm just going to add her to the stage. Miss Mary Ann Lorient, kudos to you. Tip my hat to you because she's got the ball rolling. Because she received the paperwork today, the legal paperwork to start the case against, what is it, Jermaine Schumaki? No, that's Tasha K's name for him. Jermaine Shoemaker, because that's his legal name. And Mary Ann Lorient, and 40 other complainants has filed a lawsuit. So I guess this is considered a class action lawsuit against Jermaine Schumacher. This is going to open up a whole can of worms, y'all. And her video alone is 44 minutes. And so this is live. So we are going to dig in. And I know that Lenon Honor is also live right now, and that is great. But here in the Mental Chiropractor, we dissect things. We look at things from a different lens. We look at things from a different lens. I don't know what just happened out there. One second. Sorry, I had to secure a front door because some commotion was out there and it sounds suspicious. So I had to secure the front door. Anyway, so we look at things from a different perspective in the mental chiropractor. And this just kind of, in the mental chiropractor, we're here to realign our minds. And whenever you go to a chiropractor, the chiropractor will crack your spine for realignment. Or, oh, I know what that is. Hold on one second, y'all. Y'all are gonna laugh. That commotion was my puppy trying to get out the door of the bedroom. I thought it was outside our front door, but it was my puppy. He wanted to set me free. Free, set me free. Anyway, so he's here by my side. But he's a Basenji, so he's a barkless dog, so you will not hear him. Anyway, so what we do here in the mental chiropractor is we have to sometimes crack our minds. We have to crack our thoughts. We have to crack our beliefs. Hello. Hi. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Hi. Brittany mom. Hi. Hey, y'all. Come on through. Come on through. Come on through. Anyway, in the mental chiropractor, and Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas. So in the mental chiropractor, sometimes we have to, not sometimes, all the time, we have to crack our minds. We have to crack our beliefs. We have to crack our thought processes, right? In order to realign ourselves to our higher version of ourselves, to free ourselves, to find ourselves. A lot of people nowadays are attempting, well, since the dawn of mankind, I guess, but right now, especially in this climate that we are in, we're looking to find ourselves. And feeling lost and feeling disconnected will land us into the hands of people like Umar Johnson. That's why this news right here. Okay, bye, Brittany mom. Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, see you next time. And I love when people just come by just to show love, like Brittany Mom did. But thank you. And I'm sorry, Vas Sensation Jr. Okay, Vas Sensation Jr. is in the house. Okay, welcome. And y'all, and please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I was trying to hit 500. Oh, you did. Thank you. Brittany Mom. Bring your mom. Bring your mom. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Bring your mom. Thank you. I'm trying to hit 500 before the new year. That's probably not going to happen. But you know what? That's my fault because I wasn't consistent. So it's okay. But anyway, I want to hear get to Marianne Lorient's news. Okay. So y'all, when we do not feel connected, when we do not feel grounded, when we feel like we are lost, we will land ourselves into the hands of predators like Umar Johnson. We would choose people, we would choose deceivers like Umar Johnson. Thank you. I won't give up. Thank you so much. I needed that. Thank you. Because it's hard out here on these YouTube streets, y'all. Listen, I so admire these YouTubians, but thank you. Bring your mom. Thank you. I will not give up. That's right. 2026, we're going to do it. We're going to do the damn thing in 2026. We believe in you. Oh my God, y'all. And that's from Fancy Big Boy, Big Joy. Oh, I love that name. Fancy Big Joy _11. Put one more one behind that. I love you for that. Thank you so much. So a lot of the times when we don't find ourselves, when we don't connect ourselves to the true higher version of ourselves, we will find ourselves in the hands of predators. And let me tell you something. The predators are just waiting. And let me tell you the reason why we will connect ourselves with the predator, because it's the frequencies. Because we are vibrating on the low vibrational frequency as that predator. And so that's why those frequencies were magnetized to one another. And before you know it, you got Umar Johnson, who is preying on people that basically women, single mothers, mind you, and some men out there, some men, but mostly women. And he preys on women. Like if y'all hear his videos, what is he doing? He's always asking for what? Y'all queens come through. Yes, y'all queens come through and give me a hug. Give King Kong consciousness a hug, or what's the other long ass name he be saying? Whatever the case is, but y'all know what I'm saying. I don't want to hold Marianne too long, but what I'm saying is, in this live video, we are going to review what Marianne Lorient has shared some news today, y'all. And I'm going to stop her. I don't know if we're going to get through the whole 44 minutes. I may fast forward a little bit because I listened to most of it today. So I may fast forward a little bit, but I will also put her link into my description, and then you can just watch the whole video yourself. So, but for purposes of the mental chiropractor, realigning your mind, we're going to review how we got to this point. And then there's also a very valuable golden lesson that I hope that the people of the consciousness community, I hope that they will be able to glean the lesson out of this and to understand that there is no such thing as Black consciousness. Consciousness is just consciousness in its purity. That's it. It doesn't require man-made labels. It's independent of that. It's independent of man-made labels. And what do I mean by man-made labels? Some of you may have not given consideration that the whole race thing, as we relate to it under colonialism, is fake. Don't shoot the messenger. It's fake. It is not a real thing. And how Fancy Big Joy said, with an A. Fancy Big J. Oh, Big J. Thank you. Clock it for correcting me. Thank you. Fancy Big J with an A. Also, what are we doing here? Whatever this is, I love you. Thank you. So I don't know if you're familiar, Fancy Big J _11. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the whole Umar Johnson saga is, but it's a big thing. It's been going on in the Black consciousness community, where this person, this individual, and you're going to hear from Miss Marianne Lorient herself, where she is discussing Umar Johnson. He's known as Dr. Umar Johnson. He's a big figure in the Black consciousness community, and he's supposed to be opening the school for 7 years now. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with him, Umar Johnson, and opening the school of FDMG? He started raising funds. Like, he started working on the school 7 years ago, but I think he was raising funds shortly before that. So he's been possibly okay. So there's plenty of YouTube footage out there about Umar Johnson, and I tell you what, the go-to person, I call him the Umarologist, is Lenon Honor, and I think he is on live right now covering the same thing that I'm covering, but I'm covering it from a different perspective. But at Lenon Honor, LENON, Honor, HONOR. Go over and check his YouTube channel out because he's an Umarologist. He has all of the YouTube information that you need on Umar. So anyway, I want to get into this. So basically, Umar Johnson has been running this scam, but running this fraud on the Black community. Okay, good. Yes, it's worth it on the Black community, because what I was saying before that is that if y'all have not realized that what we refer to as race, and let me tell you something, my content, my perspective, unapologetically, is not for the faint at heart. It's for those who are ready to break out of this propaganda. It's for those who are ready to break out of this narrative. It's for those who are ready to break out of the limitation according to their skin. Okay? That's what my channel is about. And I'm unapologetic about it. Because at the end of the day, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. But according to mainstream media, as some people call it over there, what's my guy's channel? Oh, y'all, I'm drawing a blank, but I love him and he's great. Hopefully it'll come back to me, but he calls it the lamestream media. I'm sure he's not the only one, but that's where I heard it from. So I give credit to him once I can remember his name. So forgive me. But anyway, according to lamestream media, we are human beings having a glimpse every now and then of a spiritual experience. And that's not the way it is, y'all. That is not. And that's why they have been able to hijack our minds, hijack our spirits. And so therefore they own us. They own us. They tell us what to believe. They tell us what to think. And all of that is on a frequency. And I want y'all to understand this. This is what the mental chiropractor realigning the mind is. I love your channel. Oh, it's calm. Yes, y'all better come through. Yes. And so this is what it is. They want us to, be trapped. And so therefore, the way that they have to feed off of our energy. I want y'all to know that they have to feed off of our energy. And because of their messaging, because of their crafty way of doing things, and if you ever really listen to the news, that tone that they speak in is a very neutral, objective tone so that the messaging can seep into your subconscious. And once that messaging seeps into your subconscious, that is what governs your thought, belief, your frequency. Because if you really pay attention to it, especially if you are Black in America, every single statistic that can be turned against you, they use it against us, right? And so a lot of us don't realize it. And what we think is, I'm gonna get to Marianne Lloyd. Let me get off my soapbox, y'all. Let me get off my soapbox, okay? Because it's because I'm so passionate about it, and I see after my spiritual awakening in 2018, I see right through it. So y'all forgive me. But we're going to get to Marianne Lorient anyway. So it is understanding that the messaging is meant to divide and have one group thinking one way, the other group thinking another way. And because our thought beliefs, because those are vibrational frequencies, our experiences, there is going to be a matching experience to every single frequency. Okay? Because I'm going to tell y'all now, the universe does not know the word no, and the universe will never make you a liar. So no matter what the prayer is, no matter what do we call them? the aspirations are, what are those things that we, those quotes that we tell ourselves, that all of that does not matter. If you are vibrating on your lower frequency, that is what communicates with the universe. And therefore, you're going to be given the matching experience to that vibrational frequency. Okay. So let's go ahead. Oh, bring your mom. Listen, I'm a reflection of you. I am a reflection of you. Bring your mom. All right. So we're going to let Marianne Lorient start giving us the tea, y'all. She's gonna give us the tea. We've been waiting. We have been waiting. So let's let Marianne Lorient give us the tea. And like I said before, just to forewarn you, just to set your expectations, I may fast forward a little bit just because I don't want this to be a marathon. I'm gonna leave the marathons to Lenon Honor. He's really good at that. His platform is great for that. My attention span, I don't have that type of bandwidth. So I may fast forward a little bit. But anyway, let's get to Marianne Lorient.
Happy holidays. I think I shared with you guys, this is one of my favorite time of the year. I'm just in a delightful mood at all times. I love the holidays. My roast meat is cooked and the table's set. And before attending Christmas Eve service, I said, let me
Um, uh, who is the other woman? Okay, the other woman is Marianne Lorient. So let me give you a little background. That's a great question. Bring your mom. So Marianne Lorient, can you hear her? Because she sounds a little low on my end, and also Streamyard is a little glitchy when you go live with it. So forgive me for that. I don't know what to do about that. But while I wait for your response to whether or not you can hear her, so Marianne Lorient, she did a film for Dr. Umar, an independent film, and it's called The Awakening of All Names. I'm like, not quite, but okay, I get it. And so she did a film with him, and it was quite a harrowing experience. And so she's gonna share with us the experience that she had. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, and there's nothing that I can really do about that, y'all. So I'm sorry. Um, mm, what can I do about this? Her volume, because I'm just streaming her video. So I'm gonna just be quiet as I possibly can, as quiet as a church mouse pissing on cotton. Okay, so I'm gonna try to be really quiet. But anyway, so that's who Marianne Lorient is. She worked with Dr. Umar, and then because she used to be one of his followers, and then after working with him, she saw how cringe he is. She saw him for his true colors, and she called him out. She called him out unapologetically. She called him out fearlessly. She called him all the way out. So kudos to Marianne Lorient. Okay, so let's go.
come and make this video. Um, the legal paperwork came today. All participants received their paperwork, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm elated. This is one of the greatest gifts um, I wasn't anticipating. Um, Before I continue, I'm going to say thank you for all of you who gave me birthday wishes. Greatly appreciated, meant the world to me. Thank you, thank you. I had a great celebration. It's just the month of December has just been amazing, and it's coming to a donation money. And then for the others, they all submitted copies of every cent that they gave to FDMG. And
Okay, so here she is talking about how this whole legal case came about. So she will share with you, she actually got a settlement from. This is how gangster she is. Like she is not the one to mess with. So she actually got a settlement from Umar, but amidst that settlement, there were other donors who also came together to file this lawsuit against Omar. So she's talking about how she received the paperwork. I guess it was yesterday. What's today? Thursday. So yes, maybe yesterday or Tuesday that she received this paperwork. This paperwork has not yet been presented to Umar, but she and the other plaintiffs received this paperwork. So that's what she's talking about now.
to show that they never also received any um, receipt. So a letter from the attorney that's representing the party of 40. will be sent to him um, to show good faith that we're willing to sit down and to give him a chance to give an explanation to why this school hasn't been open or when will this school be open, and then to give explanation on how the donation money are used. Is it being used appropriately um, for what the donor has given the money for? Um, so, like I said, I was elated when I got the paperwork. I called everybody, and none of them were surprised when I called. They're like, Marianne, why did we know you were going to call? Um, I called everyone. I was outnumbered. You have to understand, these are conscious people, and they wanted to do the route of sitting down. In the conscious community, going to court, it's not a thing they really practice. That's something that will be used for the extreme last resort, and he knows this, and I think he preys on that. And also for me, with someone with religious background, they advise you to take one or two, settle matter. Court is also used for a last resort. Um, but um, what I want to say publicly is there's a lot of people that may not give their money back, but I'm glad that I was able to retrieve mine and help um, a select few to get their money back and to stop him um, from preying on the community. From
Okay. So I'm going to probably fast forward a little bit. But I really loved what she said to stop him from preying on the community. And when she says community, she's talking about the consciousness community. This is what they're calling themselves. But let me tell you something. When you start to tap into your higher levels of consciousness, you realize that you don't need a savior. You don't need to have anyone come speak for you on your behalf. You don't need anyone to come and empower you. Because when you start to tap into higher levels of consciousness, you realize that your power is coming from within you, not from somebody external to you, not from somebody who is a great orator, and they can talk and string words together in a very impressive, seamless manner that seems like they have a higher level of education, and they can help single mothers in particular with their troubled sons. And I would really like to know what son has ever really excelled out of Umar's tutelage or guidance or coaching or mentoring. Can anybody please provide me with one single son of a mother or maybe a father who turned to Umar for help and they got concrete results, and their son excelled and went on to do whatever he wanted to do scholastically, professionally, whatever it is? Can anybody name one single? You're going to Maine tomorrow at 6 p.m. Wait, but the school is in Delaware. The school, and I'm going to Delaware. I got to get to Wilmington, Delaware to see the school for myself, these trap bandos, as people call them all the time, for myself. But I need to know one person. So anyway, I'm going to fast forward a little bit, but the thing I want to point out here is that Marianne took a stand to stop Umar Johnson from preying on these people. And unfortunately, quote, black, end quote, people, and I didn't finish my thought from before, y'all, the whole human race, as we refer to it, especially in the United States of America or worldwide, that's anybody who's under the thumb of the colonials. Race was the race, how we refer to it today, was invented in the 1600s. And then Who's the man in this channel? Oh, that's Dr. Umar Johnson. That's the subject of this whole video. And if you do not know this story, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. So I would encourage you to just maybe Google or kind of like look at some snippets of Lenon Honors channel or just YouTube it. It's all over. It's all over. But the scheme and fraud that this man has been able to pull off. Oh, you can't see me. I'm right here. Why can't you see me? Um, okay, I'll go full screen just for now. But anyway, the ski. Can you see me now? But anyway, the scheme and the fraud that this man has been able to pull off for 7+ years is well, what happened? What in the world? Bring your mom. Why can't you see me? I'm like full screen right now. Is there anybody else on here? Are you my only fan right now? Because I'm here, I'm full screen. I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to say. But you can hear me. But I want you to see me too, because I'm all in my Christmas gear, I'm all festive today. Yes. Clock it. I don't know, maybe go out and come back in. I'm not sure because my screen is up. I don't know what the deal is. But hi, Preston Center. Welcome. But anyway, back to Umar Johnson. Bring your mom. Let me know. Let me know. Let me ask Preston Center. Can you see me on the screen? Because I have another person on the live that says they can't see me. Hi. Can y'all see me on the screen? Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Yes, Paula Lopez. Okay, I'm going to keep going because I don't want this live to be forever because it is Christmas. Okay, yes, okay. So bring your mom. They can see me. So maybe go out and come back in to reset your YouTube or something because I really want you to be able to see me as well as hear me, okay? All right. But anyway, so what I'm talking about for those who are just joining, if you're familiar with Umar Johnson, so this shit is about to hit the fan. Okay. And I'm going to go back to Marianne Lorient, who is breaking news, but I had broke out to say, I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, so Umar Johnson, he has ran this scheme on quote that's what I was saying, on quote the black end quote community. And I just want everybody to understand throughout the whole world, but any piece of the world that the colonials have touched, and they have touched just about every nook and cranny of this world. But anyway, the whole thing about race, you know how we refer to race as black, white, yellow, brown, and I think that's it, right? Red. Yeah. Black, white, yellow, brown, and red. You know how, okay, can you see me now? I sound like can I be mod? Yeah, you want to be mod? Sure. How do I make you mod? How do I make you mod? Wait, is this it? No, I don't want to ban user. I don't want to put her in timeout. Bryn, how do I make you mod? Hold on a second. Y'all give me 1 second because eventually I'm going to need mods. So, what if can I star you? What does that do? What does that do if I star you, Brenyo? No, she said, I don't know. I don't know either. How do I mod people? No. Okay. Let me, I wonder if I can go to my subscribers. You subscribed, right? Let me see if I can go to my subscribers. You can call me. Oh, Brennan. I can call you Brennan. Is that an A or an O? Brennan. Okay. Thank you, Brennan. I don't know. Okay. I don't know how to mod you live. Or Bren. I love Bren. I love Ren. They told me that people was not able to be friends with black people and black people. To what? Who told you that? Bren, who Paula Lopez? Who told you that, Paula Lopez? That's a crock of shit. Do not believe them. I'm gonna let you know now. Do not believe them. Stop listening to those people and tell those people to kick rocks. Okay, that's what I want you to do for those people. Because, Bren, I want to mod you. I want to mod you. Your teacher. What? See, this is what's wrong with society, because we've all been so brainwashed that even our religious institutions, our educational institutions, they're all funneling down that same poison from generation to generation. And then we wonder why we can't get out of this shit. We wonder because they are just passing down the poison from generation to generation, keeping everybody still mentally imprisoned. And so, but it's a new day. Don't y'all worry. It's a new day. The mental chiropractor. My name is Tezra. Sorry. I didn't mention that. My name is Tezra, the mental chiropractor, where I'm here to help you to realign your mind. And in realigning our mind is to realign ourselves to the higher version of ourselves, to realign ourselves with the divine energy. Because in that frequency, when we are in that alignment, there is something that's called unfuckwithable. And when you align yourself with that divinity, with that energy, with that frequency, nobody can stop you, because you are now connected to that infinite potential within you. But if you are not synced in and connected to that frequency, that energy, then you may find yourself in this predicament that a lot of donors are in with Umar Johnson, bringing it back full circle. But before I do that, I want to say this. Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, from 1752 to 1840, that is a person who is responsible for the labels that we refer to as black, white, yellow, red, brown. He's a person that is responsible for that. And he really basically did it as metaphorically speaking, not that it was supposed to become exact labels for any one human being, but it was metaphorical. And then the colonials took that, ran with it, and made it so and manipulated it so that they could now divide and conquer people under these labels. Because the one thing that we cannot escape is our skin color. That's one thing that cannot be altered. That is one thing. You're my you're my nephew. I'm your auntie. I'm your auntie. Listen, I am the auntie. Okay, I am the auntie. I'm that favorite auntie that was going to tell it like it is to you. When you have your deepest, darkest secrets or something that you think other people are going to judge you for, don't worry about it. Come to your auntie. Share it with your auntie, because I will listen without judgment. Okay. And I want to say that here now. There is no judgment here, y'all. Okay. The idea is to wake up. The idea is to mentally free yourself. So there is no judgment. I'm not going to say that Dr. Umar is right or wrong. Dr. Umar is doing the best thing for himself. Now, if it's self-centered and it's all about himself, then that's his issue. That's his problem. That's something that he's going to have to worry about and deal with. But I'm just talking about how to know when you're brainwashed, or how to know when you're mentally imprisoned and somebody is preying on your mental imprisonment based on the color of your skin. And that is what the consciousness community is about. Oh, thank you, Paula Lopez. Listen, I'm just here because, I just really want us to get free. I want us to come out from under the spell, under the veil of colonialism. And listen, I will never make anybody a villain. I'm not making anybody good or bad or, right or wrong. That's not what I'm here to do. Okay. That is not my job. But my job is to let people know that if you are feeling lost, if you are feeling disconnected, it's not your fault. That is the program. That is the plan. That is a curriculum. They have craftily designed a plan for you to feel disconnected and lost. And so therefore, you are always looking for the answer. You're always looking for the person to come save you. You're always looking for that voice to speak up for you or to represent you. And a lot of the times, those people mean you no good. And that can go all the way up to government. But that's for another live. That's for a whole nother live. But anyway, let me continue. Okay. So Blumenbach is the person who is responsible for the labels. Okay. So I just want y'all to know that. Like, these labels are man made labels. You will never find anything that is spiritually connected to these labels. You would never find anything that is medically connected to these labels. And you would never find anything that's scientifically connected to these labels. Now, these three institutions that I have just named, these are the three institutions that will deem anything as an axiom, as an absolute, unequivocal truth. Those three institutions, and even science, will have to retract their findings every now and then. Even medical society will have to say, oh, well, we thought it was this, but it's not that, because now science shows, and now we have to course correct. Spirituality, never. You will never hear spirituality correcting herself, because she is divine, true nature. And science and medical is born out of spirituality. And even if science deems something like, let's say, quantum physics, now science has authenticated or verified, whatever name that you want to use, or whatever word, rather, sorry, that you want to use for quantum physics. Boo. Quantum physics was already in existence. Man is just catching up with spirit. Man is just catching up with divine energy. This already existed. So don't think that quantum physics or science is defining what's happening in the spiritual realm. All they're doing is validating it. She doesn't need any help. Mother Nature doesn't need any, she don't need nobody's help. How pompous of us to think that until we validate it, until we verify it, then it isn't so. Listen, divinity, supreme consciousness, God, whatever term you want to use, is actually that which cannot be named. It's independent of anyone's belief, of anyone's research. It just is. It is the realm where it does nothing but yet leaves nothing undone. Okay. Oh yeah. Does acne make people ugly? No. 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 Let me tell you, acne cannot make people ugly. You know what make people ugly? Paul, I'm gonna get to your question, Bryn. Hopefully not long. I know, Bryn, right? I ain't even gotten to 5 minutes into Marianne Lorian's video. Okay, let me get to it. Let me get off my soapbox and get to it. Bryn, you're right. You're right. Give me 1 second. Paula, no. Paula Lopez, no, acne does not make anybody, nothing makes anybody ugly, right? What makes a person ugly is their spirit, it's their energy. Because you can have, let me get back to Marianne Lorient. You can see me now. Okay, good. I just changed the screen because, like, to your point, how long is this live going to be? Yeah, I don't want it to be long because I actually want to just chill and sip on my bubbly for the rest of the Christmas evening. But so can you still see me? Because I did change the frame. But anyway, Paula Lopez, no, acne cannot make you ugly. You know what makes you ugly? It's the energy. It's your attitude. It's how you walk this earth. You have some of the most beautiful people. I'm not going to mention Jennifer Lopez, but you have some of the most beautiful people physically. But when you get into their personal space, they're ugly as hell. Why? Because their energy is snooty. They think that they're above you or whatever have you. But for people, there are other people who does not fit conventional beauty. And then when you meet them or when you hear them speak, they are the most beautiful being that you've ever seen. Why? Because of who they are from the inside and where they vibrate. So that's where the beauty comes from, Paula Lopez. It's not if you have acne on your face. And let me tell you something. The acne on the face is going to pass. I used to have acne on my face. So that's going to pass. That is nothing permanent. Okay. So you just concentrate on being a beautiful person from the inside, and whatever that is on the inside, it's going to flow it's going to flow externally. And that is what determines your beauty. Okay. All right. No matter what anybody says either. All right. So let me get back. The only thing that's kind of discouraging, I'm not going to lie, I'm very transparent. So I'm not going to lie. The only thing that's kind of discouraging about this video is that the volume is so low. Um, is my channel? Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to, let me write this down. At Bryn Yo Mom. Okay. All right. Cool. So when I get off of here, I'm going to look up your channel and then I'm going to subscribe and see how to make you a mod. Okay. So are we ready? All right. So like I said, the only thing that's really here is about the volume level. But y'all, the race thing is not, you can look it up yourself. Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. He is a person that's responsible for naming human beings according to a color. I call them crayons, which I do not subscribe to because Crayola is not my maker. Crayola is not my manufacturer. So therefore I cannot subscribe to the colors of crayons. Okay. My maker is Supreme Divine Nature. She didn't give me a collar. She didn't give me a label. So therefore, I don't subscribe to that. But let's go. All right. Can I give you my phone number? I don't know if you want to put it here in a public chat, but sure. But I don't know if you want to do that. But there, again, there's not many people here, so, but I don't know who's going to watch this afterwards. Or email. Sure. Yeah. You can send me your email. That's better. Okay. All right. So let's go. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit because, like you said, Bryn, how long is this live? And honestly, lives, they do go pretty long. They go longer than the actual video. But like I said, y'all, what time is it? It's 7 something. And I am not trying to be here all day because like I said, I want to sip up my bubbly and enjoy the rest of my Christmas Eve day. And I hope y'all enjoyed yours. I have immensely enjoyed mine. And so let's continue with it. Okay. Here we go. Marianne Lorient, and she is going to tell us the tea on Dr. Umar Johnson.
Preying on Black folks, period. This shenanigan coming to
Oh,
an
okay.
end.
Okay.
So I'm glad
I won't. I
I'm
won't end
able
it
to
soon.
make a difference. So I don't know if I should say this, but so me, I footed the legal bill family, and I didn't flinch. Um, when the settlement is settled, when they give everybody their money, legal
I'm gonna
fees
fast
will be
forward.
taken
She's
off
just saying that
before the
she put it the legal bill and she's not worried about it. When the settlement comes in, then they're going to reimburse her money that she put up for the legal bill. Okay, so let me fast forward.
to see if what he's doing is legit or if this is fraud. Um, so, yes, family, um, you know, I'm just happy I was in a position we were able to do this, to bring this
Okay, she's still
community
talking about the
to a
case,
closure,
and the case is
to bring
they just want to
someone
see. They want to do a discovery and see whether or not they actually want to have a conversation with him. It's fraud. It's complete fraud. It fits the definition of fraud, like the classic definition of fraud. So that's why I say the title, the thumbnail, that Umar is in trouble. Oh, I see why, Bryn. You may be looking from the portrait version because I got both running right now. So maybe that's what you were looking at and that's why you couldn't see me. I understand now. Thank you. But anyway, so right now they're talking about just doing an inquiry, just having a conversation. It's kind of like a mediation. And they just want to see whether or not Umar Johnson's or Jermaine Shoemaker, whether or not his actions are deemed legitimate or illegitimate, whether it's legal or illegal by taking donors' money and using it for other purposes than what was uh, um, said to be or promoted to be, and using it for other purposes. And then why hasn't the school opened as yet? And what is the plan for the school opening? Okay, so that's that part. But I wanted, let's see. Hold on a second.
before I had issue with him, it troubled my soul so much. I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, this isn't right." And when I brought,
Okay, let me rewind here because now she's talking about a particular incident that happened when she was doing the film. Because what has also been purported is that Dr. Umar Johnson is somewhat of a gigolo, so much of a player, so much of a um, let's just say he loves the women. Okay, and sometimes he will take and take advantage of his status within the Black consciousness community and abuse that, and will take advantage of women according to his status in the community. So there was a certain incident that happened, and this is what Lorianne is talking about with one of the female actors in the film that she did with Dr. Umar Johnson.
To save $6,000. This is her supposed to be her backup money. She has 4 children. She's a single.
Okay, so here, Umar Johnson purportedly, allegedly took $6,000 from one of the women in the Black consciousness community, because I guess he had access to her account. And women, especially the young women, I get it. I understand when we think that we have found the one, when we think that we are in love, and we think that we can trust this person because this person says all the right things to us and is very convincingly and puts on like we are their number one person. But don't be so quick to act, don't be so quick to believe. Be very slow, controlled, and methodical, because if it's the real thing, then it's going to withstand the patience that you're going to take with this. So in this particular case, I think that Dr. Umar Johnson allegedly took advantage of the woman and took $6,000 from her account. She's a single mother with 4 children.
Mother, and when she reached out to him, questioning him for taking the money, he told her he had something to do. He'll get back with her, and she's never heard from him. He literally cut her off, family. Literally. So when she told me this story was disturbing, and I gave her counseling. I said, when you're dating a man, one should use reservation. I didn't think it was wise. She gave him that much access, but I'm not judging. I'm not judging. My heart went out to her. You can tell she's a good mother. And then, before I had issue with him, it troubled my soul so much. I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, this isn't right." And when I brought the situation to his attention, all he could do is degrade the woman. Oh, you just don't know how many women are in line to be my wife. She's just mad because I didn't choose her. I said, well, we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on, as she said, you went in her account and you took $6,000 that she didn't give you permission to touch. You know what? That's not how that went. Did she tell you she got 4 baby daddy? Just try to
Okay, so you see how he's deflecting there when Marianne Loriant, even before she took issue with Umar, do you see how he deflected there when she confronted him about the situation? And for a person who is so promoting, Black unity, and we got to stand together, and we got to lift one another, did you see his defense? He was attacking this Black queen's character off the rip. Like, without hesitation, that was his first go-to. So you got to look at the signs, people. You cannot just listen to a person's word. You have to really pay close attention to their actions, because that shows you what their true intent is. Dr. Umar Johnson doesn't mean any goodwill for the quote in Black end quote community. He doesn't. He don't give 2 shits about the quote Black end quote community. What is easy for him is to prey upon them. Why? Because they're so desperate to find somebody who is going to legitimize them, who is going to validate them, who is going to give them their value. But it doesn't happen externally. And that is the biggest takeaway from this live that I'm sharing right now. The reason why Umar Johnson was so successful is because people are looking outside of themselves. They're looking externally to themselves for their worth, for their value, for their place in this earth. But the only place that you can find that is within. The only place you can find your validation and your purpose is within. That's the only way. There is no getting around it. There is no getting around it. So when Umar is talking about, taking advantage of this young lady, he made it seem like, he's diminishing her, attacking her character. Oh, well, she has 4 baby fathers. Well, so what? How many baby mothers do you have, dude? Stop trying to make yourself superior to other people because of your place in the Black consciousness community. Like, it's a joke. We need y'all to wake up. so that you won't be taken advantage of anymore. Let me tell you something. The reason why the quote black in quote consciousness movement of any kind does not work because it goes against divine nature. That is a reason why it will never ever work. Because by divine nature, it's not meant for human beings to live in such a divisive way. Homogenous communities and trying to be in the spirit of, oh, we got to come over here and do our own thing. That's a very low vibrational energy. And this is the reason why you get the results that you get. Because it's not of higher consciousness, it's not of high vibration. I remember before I told you that the universe does not know the word no, and the universe will never make you a liar. So therefore, if you are on a low vibration, you're going to have a matching experience to make it true. Okay. So this low vibration here, where people thought, oh, we're going to do something great for the quote black in quote community. We're going to do something for the black consciousness. And all of that is on a very low vibrational frequency. So therefore you attract people like Umar Johnson, who comes in and take advantage of you and take your money and leave you with nothing. That is part of the reason why the quote black in quote activists, none of their movements are successful, because they're operating off of a low vibrational energy, and it's not going to give you the result that you're looking for because the energy is of a low vibration. And so therefore, the only thing that you can get on a low vibrational energy is a matching experience to make it so. Same thing goes with the high vibrational energy. When you're operating on a high vibrational energy, it's of empowerment. It's of being connected to your higher version of yourself. It's being connected to your source energy. It's being connected to the divine plan, which is unity. Then you get a matching experience to make it so. And that's where life is lived on a very satisfactory, fulfilled plane. Not to say that you're never going to encounter problems or obstacles, you will, but the way that you traverse them and the way that you handle them and get through them is a lot easier than it is when you're operating on a low vibrational frequency. Okay, so let's continue. I got to go. Okay, thank you, Bryn. I will see you next time. I hope I don't be on here much longer myself, y'all. But thank you so much, Bryn. I'll see you next time. You didn't drop me your email, but maybe you'll do it on the next time you catch me, okay? Merry Christmas to you.
Reflect the situation. I don't care if she had 10 baby daddies. The point is, she was adamant. She did not give you permission to go in her account and withdraw that money, and you did. And I felt at that time I could have done a little bit more, but I'm not going to sit here and lie. I just saw him like some kind of black figure leader, and I.
Yes, yes. And this is the reason why I'm loving Marianne Lorient right now, because she is so freaking transparent, y'all. And this is what helps people, because she just said the reason why she didn't do more is because how she viewed him in the community. She thought she had put him on some sort of podium. She had put him in a higher rank. And so therefore she said, you know what, I didn't want to challenge it much further than that because of his status in the quote black in quote community, the consciousness community. And that is why he was able to be as successful as he was with duping, deceiving, bamboozling, and hoodwinking the people. That he meant no good from the jump. And as a matter of fact, if y'all would listen to his other interviews, when people would say, well, when do you plan on raising the money? Like when is the fundraising ending? Like when is the school going to open? But he had the nerve to say in a very temerarious way. He's like, I don't know. It depends on the people. Y'all got to get this money in. Y'all got to get these funds in. It's on y'all. It's not on me. It's on the collective. It's on the quote black in quote community. And he took advantage of that. He took advantage of that victimhood mentality because he knew that he was not going to be challenged. And that's the reason why he was able to get away with this for so long. What fundraiser have you ever heard to have the audacity enough to say, well, I don't know, but that depends on y'all. Y'all get y'all money and y'all get y'all donations in. And then I could tell you when we're going to get the school finished. That's on y'all. It's not on me, not taking any responsibility or accountability out off of himself. He put it all on y'all. So y'all can continue to pump money into his bank account so he can continue to use it and abuse it for personal reasons. Allegedly. Let's continue.
Kind of fell back. He's like, you mingling what you don't need to be mingling. She's not what you think she is. No, he's not what we think he is. And then the young lady from my movie,
Yeah, I'm still
um,
alive.
I told you guys that he put her out and I left her and I really troubled my soul, but I never really went into detail. I'm going to publicly tell the entire story. So the casting agent called me. It was a midday. I was at the studio, and she's like, Marianne, can I schedule an appointment? I would like to talk to you. I said, oh, perfect.
Okay, so here, what Marianne Lorian is talking about now, she's talking about an incident that happened with one of her ingenues. An ingenue is like a young, inexperienced female actor in theater and film, and so she's talking about an experience that happened between her young ingenue and Dr. Umar Johnson. And she's going into great detail, which I don't think that she has gone into detail before about this particular experience. So you want to listen closely to this. And I'm not going to interrupt her because I want you to understand the exact specifics as how this experience unfolded for this young female actor.
I'm at the studio now. Do you want to drop by? Because she's like, she didn't want to have this conversation over the phone. She's like, yeah, okay, 20 minutes away. Would that work? I said, that's fine. I'm going to be here for another 2 or 3 hours. And she did arrive at.
So the agent of the young female actor, that is a person that Marianne Lorient is talking about right now. She's the person who called Marianne Lorient and said, can I meet with you? Because whatever it was that she wanted to discuss with her, she didn't want to discuss it over the phone. So that's who Marianne Lorient is talking about, just in case you didn't catch that.
The studio. Ooh, my fire alarm is tripping. She did arrive at the studio, um, and then I said, "What is it?" Like, I wasn't alarmed, but I wanted to know what is she wanted to talk in person that she couldn't say over the phone. And then she was like, "Well, um, I know you as an individual. Um, when I'm hearing this story, it didn't sit well with me, and it doesn't sound like your character. Why did you abandon the young lady?" And I said, well, you know what? You talking about the girl that went to the room with Umar. I said, nobody abandoned her. When she called, I told her I didn't have room in the car, and I didn't. I had camera equipment, I had food, because as a producer, I provide craft. Like, you feed everybody from the actors and people that are on set. I said, I really couldn't pick her up. And she goes, Marianne, she was there till 7 a.m. in the morning. My heart dropped. I said, no, I think you're mistaken. She called me at 5 a.m. And she said, Marianne, she was there stranded, not until 7 a.m. someone was able to pick her up. And I couldn't understand. What she was giving me, I was dumbfounded. I was just like, my heart just dropped. When the actors, they have a portfolio that they give you with a headshot, a professional headshot, with name,
I'm going to fast
address,
forward just a little
email.
bit.
Um, there was some flirting on both parts. So she was a willing participant. She went to the room.
Okay, hold on. This is a good part. Hold on. This is important. I'm not going to say good. It's important.
Happened. From what I'm being told, you were stranded from 7 a.m. So yes, Miss Marianne. Um, he asked me to come.
Okay. So Miss Marianne Lorient is having a conversation with the young female actor. And so she is sharing what that conversation was about. So the young female actor went to Dr. Umar's hotel room to rehearse the scene. Okay. So this is how this conversation took place.
Headshot, with name, address, email,
Oh,
phone
sorry,
number,
y'all.
um, their height, their weight, shoe size, even if they have a distinguished mark or a tattoo, everything, so we can see if that person will fit the character that we need. I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I didn't email. I did get in my car. I didn't even finish what I had to do at the studio. After I finished talking to her, I said, I'm going to touch base with her and I will follow up with you. I went straight to the young woman's house. Um, she does waitress job from memory serve me right. She lived with her grandmother. I knew that much. And when I rang the doorbell, I took 3 or 2 steps back from the porch because I didn't know how it was going to be received. And luckily, she opened the door and she's like, Miss Marianne, what is it? You know, she wasn't rude, but it wasn't a warm reception. And I said, I'm so sorry. Can I talk to you? And then I did get emotional. And she's like, Miss Marianne, what you crying for? What's wrong? I said, I just need to talk to you. Can I please talk to you? I'm so sorry. And then I remember she's asking me, what you sorry about? And then she's like, well, my grandmother, she don't like, unexpected guests. So we sat on the porch. There was some plan. You could tell the grandmother was into plan. We sat on the porch. I said, tell me what happened. From what I'm being told, you were stranded from 7 a.m. So yes, Miss Marianne. Um, he asked me to come. He wanted to go over the scene. He said, um, "Come on." I don't know if she was telling me the truth or in other words, she said he asked her to come. He wanted to go over some scene, but there was some flirting on both parts. So she was a willing participant. She went to the room. So she said when she got to the room, everything was cool. And then she said, I don't have to get into detail. She was very detailed with me, but I don't have to get into detail. You guys understand what took place. And then she said, after that, he said, you need to leave.
Okay. So basically, this young ingenue, she felt that she was, how can I say, special. She felt that she was special because Umar Johnson had invited her, allegedly, from her account, that he invited her to his room to go over the scene. Now, you have to keep in mind that Umar Johnson holds a high status in the quote black end quote consciousness community. And so, therefore, he takes advantage of that title, right? He takes advantage of that position. So, a young ingenue, if the main character, and not just the main character, but he also has significant status within the community. I'm not sure if she was part of the community or not, but because he had this position in the community and he's also the main character in the film, and then he asks you to come to the hotel to go over the scene. Now, first of all, and the person is grown, so she doesn't have to consult with anyone. She can make her own decisions. But young people, you might just want to run something by an older female, by your elder, by a sister, an aunt, or whatever the case is, before you make a decision like this, because she went to the room. So, like Marianne just said, she was a willing participant because she went. And then she was also a willing participant in whatever activities took place, because she didn't say that she was forced or whatever, but she did go into detail. But Marianne Lorient, having decorum, is not going to divulge the details. But anyway, so whatever took place. And then after he was gratified, satisfied, fulfilled, or whatever, he told the young ingenue at 4 a.m. in the morning that you have to go, because I am a leader in the community and I cannot be seen with the female leaving my hotel room first thing in the morning. Okay, so that's where this is. Let's pick up.
And then she told me, she's like, I told him, I said, when you asked me to come, my cousin said, there's not enough gas for me to drop you and come pick you up, or you're going to have a ride back. And I told them when I was on the phone with you, you told me, come on, we'll figure it out. And she's like,
Okay. So what happened was, so the young female, the ingenue actor, when I guess her and Umar were on the phone together, making the arrangements for going to his room in order to go over their scene. And then she was like, okay, I have a way there, but I don't have a way back because my cousin is not going to have enough gas to come pick me up and then drive me back to wherever, my destination is. He tells her, just so he can get her to the room, he tells her, just get here. Don't worry about it. We'll figure everything else out. And so she's like, okay, cool. Fine. Cool. And that's what she did. And this is what happened after that.
I don't have a ride back. I can't leave. And she said he was insisting, you can't stay here. I'm a leader. They can't pick me up in the morning, and I'm coming out of my hotel room with a woman. You have to leave. And she like called her cousin, and then she's like, I'm still in the room. I could tell he's agitated. When she called her cousin, the cousin said, I told you I didn't have enough gas to come pick you up. Have him call you an Uber, or have him figure how you're getting back here. I can't come and get you. Now I want you guys to understand. I live on the west side. She lived on the east side. Most of my cast and actors were east siders. So I lived on the west side. The guy who I chose to drive Umar around, he was a west sider. So I selected a hotel on the west side of town. You know, the producer on the west side, the person chauffeuring him
I'm going to
is
fast
also
forward
on
a
the
little
west
bit.
side.
This is a little bit of fluff in between the actual story. Okay, let me fast forward a little bit.
And I guess she said she didn't know um, if it's the room to the right, room to the left, but apparently they called the front desk, and front desk came.
Okay. So then what happened was, after she refused to leave the room when he told her, you cannot be here because I'm influential. I have a certain status, certain stature in the community, and you cannot be seen leaving my room. So he's protecting his image. So he's being very manipulative, and he got what he wanted. And then after that, she had to jet, like, you got to get out of here, kick rocks. I don't care where you go, how you do it, but you got to get up out of here. And so when she refused to, because it's at 4:30 in the morning and she had nowhere to go, she had no transportation to get her to where she needed to go, she became adamant. And she probably went a little filly on him. I don't know where they were filming this film, but she may have went a little filly on him, and got hood. And she was like, no, hi Brent. She was like, no. And so it got a little confrontational, and he overpowered her and threw him out of the room. They got into like a physical altercation, and he overpowered her because he's a big guy, and overpowered her and threw her out of his room. Well, when he did that, she was banging and kicking and spewing all kind of profanities, and then it disturbed the neighbors on either side. They're not really sure who called down to the front desk, but somebody called down to the front desk. I would have done the same just for safety reasons as well. But so the front desk comes up and they find her, and they're like, what is the issue? And so she tells them, this person kicked me out of their room. I have nowhere to go, and I have no transportation to get to where I need. Well, I do have somewhere to go, but I don't have the transportation to get to where I need to go. And so she said, and she was like, I was in his room with him. And then she says, well, and then the hotel staff says, are you our registered guest? And she said, no. So because she's not a registered guest, they said, well, ma'am, we have nothing. We can't force him to allow you to stay. It's his room. So therefore, if he does not want you there, then you have to go. And because she had made a ruckus and because she had made a scene, they did not even allow her to stay in the lobby until, she could find transportation to get her to where she needed to go. And the way Marianne Lorient is going to say something that the young girl said, and I'm like, no, you cannot say that. You cannot say that these people were tripping. You caused a scene. So you got to hold yourself accountable for the reason why they are treating you and handling the situation and you the way that they are. Because you have to understand at the end of the day, this is a business and it's about professionalism. And they're not going to let anyone taint or threaten their professional image. So let's continue this.
And they're like, "What is the problem?" She like, "I'm staying here. He put me out." They're like, "Are you a registered guest to the room?" She goes, "No, it's his room, but he invited me here. I don't have a way home. I need to get back in the room." They're like, "It's his room. If he doesn't want you in there, he has a right to ask you to leave. So now you're disturbing other guests. So we're asking you to please leave. And if you don't leave, we're going to call the authorities and have you removed from the premises." And then when she realized these people were tripping, she told me she went to sit in the lobby. But because she caused so much.
Okay. So did you hear what Laura Ian said? She said when she realized that these people are tripping, my love, how are these people tripping? Actually, you were the one who was tripping because you got duped, hoodwinked, and bamboozled and played by a man who, in your naivete and your innocence, thought was going to do right by you. So you were the one who were tripping. So don't put that on the professional people who are running an upstanding business and has an image and a business ethic to protect. So they're not tripping at all. I just want to be very clear about that. That caught my attention when I heard it the first couple of times. They are not tripping at all. What they're doing is acting within the requirements of the business model to make sure that the business is protected and is kept in a good light and a good standing with their clients, the people who I don't know exactly what you call them. They're not residents, but I'm just going to say clients because I don't know what the actual term is for hotels. But anyway, so they are not tripping. You are tripping. You got yourself into a very compromising position, and you are looking for these people to help you and bail you out after you have made a spectacle at 4:45 in the morning or whatever it is. And now you want them to accommodate you by allowing you to stay in their lobby. They don't know what you're capable of because you've already made a scene. So therefore, no, boo, you got to exit the premises. Let's continue.
Of commotion, they're like, "No, we don't even want you in lobby. We want you off the premises." And then she said when they put her out, it was 4 o'clock when Umar put her out of the room. So she's calling, she called her.
Okay, so that's questionable because supposedly Dr. Umar, it was 4 o'clock when he said you got to go. So I don't know how much time transpired, but it wasn't 4 o'clock. If anything, it was 4:15, 4:20 after they had the conversation, the debate about it, her explaining to him that she has nowhere to go or no transportation because I already told you. My cousin said that she can drop me off, but she can't pick me up. And you said, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. And so all that kind of conversation going back and forth until it escalated into a physical altercation where he physically put her out of his room. That didn't happen at 4 o'clock. I don't know what the timestamp of this is, but we can be rest assured that it wasn't 4 o'clock. Maybe 4:15, maybe 4:20. I'm not sure, but it wasn't 4 o'clock. Let's continue.
Dude she talked to, she called a certain amount of people, but there was no one who was able to come through. So she told me by 5 o'clock, she kind of ran out of people to call. So she called me to ask me to come get her. And I told you guys I was under a lot of stress. That doesn't excuse what I did, but I kind of like was angry with her because when she told me she was in Umar's room, I'm like, who told you to go to that man's room? And first of all, I want everybody to maintain a professional decorum. I just, I thought like that was reckless on her part going to this man's room. He's here for 3 days. I'm trying to get this movie done. I didn't want any issues, family, because I'm juggling so much. So I left her, and I said, "Well, after you left me, why didn't you call again? Like I don't understand seven." So she said when she called her cousin, she started crying. She goes, Miss Marianne said no, she's not picking me up. Miss Marianne hung up the phone on me. I never shared that with you guys, but yeah, I told her I'm not coming. I did. I just kind of abruptly hung up the phone with her. I abruptly ended the conversation. So she said when she's crying, her cousin said, "Well, I'm gonna see what I can do, but you just gonna have to sit." and sit.
Okay. So the part that's coming up is very questionable for me. Um, but I do want to just insert a question that when the young lady said that by 5 o'clock she had ran out of people to call. So there was not one single solitary person that could have ordered you an Uber after you explained to whoever. I'm not judging, no right or wrong here, no good or bad, but it's just using critical thinking. Not one single solitary person, because what this is really panning out to be is a very dramatic story. And so, not one single solitary person could order you an Uber or a, oh, is this all out there right now? Is Uber? Okay. They couldn't order you an Uber, not one person. And so then you go and you call Mary Ann Lorient, and Mary Ann couldn't even order you an Uber. Like nobody necessarily has to come out their house anymore to go pick a person up, but you can definitely order an Uber. Like, why was that not an option? But let's listen to the rest of the story because it gets quite interesting. Where Mary Ann Lorient, she admits that she hung up on the young lady. She's stressed. This is not absolving her of her actions. It's just taking into consideration what may have led up to this poor decision. I can't say poor, to whatever decision she made out of whatever emotional state that she was in. I'm not here to judge. But so this is what Marianne Lorient even admits that she hung up the phone on this person. So let's continue to listen.
Sit tight and let me figure it out. And when she told me, this is why I had to get therapy because of her and that mother of four. She said, my cousin had to go to this dude, oh, Miss Marianne, he wanted head. Just
Okay. Now, this is where it starts to sound very dramatic for me because, first of all, Marianne Lorient said that this is why I had to go get therapy. And I don't shade or, hate or make light of anybody going to get therapy because they understand and they recognize that their emotional state is out of whack and they need someone to bring the pendulum back into balance, right? Okay, so I get that. And so, but the reason why, because she said that because of the young lady, of what she had went through and what her cousin claims that she had went through in order to get the money to put the gas in the car to go pick the young lady up. Now, this is what she just said. And I want to rewind this just a little bit because she said the cousin had to go and hold on, let's listen.
picking me up. Miss Marianne hung up the phone on me. I never shared that with you guys, but yeah, I told her I'm not coming. I did. I just kind of abruptly hung up the phone with her. I abruptly ended the conversation. So she said when she's crying, her cousin said, "Well, I'm gonna see what I can do, but you just gonna have to sit and sit tight and let me figure it out." And when she told me, this is why I had to get therapy because of her and that mother of four. She said, my cousin had to go to this dude, oh, Miss Marianne, he wanted head just to give her $20. Another woman had to do.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying that this is not true. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am questioning is that the young lady's cousin had to go to a homeless man to get $20. And the homeless man said, well, you have to give me head and I'll give you $20. Okay. That seems a little dramatic. That seems a little dramatic. So let's continue to listen.
Had to put herself in a vulnerable position to get $20 to put gas in the car to pick her up. And that really bothered me because that was out of character for me. I should have picked her up. She was like 8 minutes away. give and take, and I did.
But here's the thing, though, Marianne Lorient, you didn't have to pick her up. You could have said, "Give me the address to where you are, and I will have a Uber or a Lyft to come get you and take you to your home." That is a viable option. I mean, nobody feels like getting out of their bed at 5 something in the morning to drive 45 minutes to go pick someone up. But you could write it off as a business expense or a production expense, and have paid. Maybe it would be cost. I don't know. I think the young lady lived on the same side as where Umar Johnson was staying. I'm not sure, but whatever the case, you could have. That was a possibility to just Uber or Lyft her to her place, and it would have been at the most $80, but at least the young lady would have gotten to her destination sooner and safely.
Didn't pick her up. But in my mind, you know, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't pick her up. So this girl got put out this room 4 a.m. in the morning and then didn't get her cousin to come get her at 7 a.m. This woman had to do what she had to do to get $20 from another man to put gas just to pick her cousin up. You understand, family? So when I tell you I had to go get therapy, that situation about that young lady and that situation about the woman of these things bothered me so much. I felt I'm in the conscious community, I'm an activist. I felt I did not handle those situations properly. Now, and y'all wonder why I'm angry with him. That last scene in the movie where he sat on the couch with Rebecca. Rebecca was crying, he was comforting Rebecca. That was the last scene. I pointed out to you guys who opened the door. That last scene,
I'm going to
we are
fast forward this a
wrapping
little
up.
bit
We
because when I
wrapped up
listened
around
to it, I didn't I didn't
12:30.
hear anything of any gems out of here. But she did say something about this young man. I don't know if this was a glimpse into anything else about Umar. I'm not sure. I don't know what she was trying to intimate here, but
The
let me
conscious
see.
community. I don't want to throw nobody off. He's like, Doc want me to wash his hair, condition his hair, and sponge his hair.
Okay. So there was a person while they were filming, this person who came on the set and was very well put together. She called him Metropolitan. So I guess he was very, very well put together, like in a modern type of way. And he had braids in his hair. He's probably well manicured. And he was just sharing with her that he's an actor and if she could consider him, on her next production or whatever. And she said, sure. And he said, well, can I just stick around while you guys are filming? And she says, yeah, sure, fine. And then she said that Umar requested that this young man to wash, condition, and sponge his hair. And the young man had like a suitcase with him or something. But now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, why would a random person just show up with your suitcase? And Dr. Umar asks that person to wash, condition, and sponge his hair. Let me take this back just a little bit, just to make sure I'm hearing correctly. Hold on, hold on.
Sharply dressed, um, you know, uh, GQ style. And then he had the reason, like, he stood out. He was a handsome young man, but the reason that he stood out for me, he had braids, but it's not like regular cornrow. It was like fancy braid, but he's still masculine. And he's like, yo, it's dope that Dr. Umar's in your movie. Um, I would like to act if you ever. I said, you're handsome. Good look is half the battle. I remember having this conversation with him. And he goes, you mind if I hang around? Because Doc wanted me to wait outside. I said, no, I don't mind. He's like, he leave tomorrow. Now, Umar filmed for 3 days, but Umar was in Cleveland for 5. The very first day when he came, I told you guys he wasn't happy with the hotel accommodation. Um, he got upset. He didn't come to the welcome party. That's arrival.
How petulant is that? How how petty can you be? You're not happy with your hotel accommodations. So therefore, you're not going to go to the welcoming party to start production. Really, Umar? That's very princess of you. Maybe at the welcoming party, you could have had a conversation to see about getting better hotel accommodations. But you just pulled a diva move and you were like, no, fuck that party. I'm not going because y'all got me in a shoddy hotel. So I'm going to sit this one out. What?
He came like early evening. We filmed for 3 days, and then the fifth day, that's checkout, and he came to the farewell party, and we took him to the airport. But we had 3 days of filming, so he's like, "Yeah, Doc wants me to wash his hair." We call him Doc in the conscious community. I don't want to throw nobody off. He's
Stop
like,
calling
"Doc
him that.
want me to wash his hair, condition his hair, and sponge his hair." I'm like, "Sponge his hair?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna sponge his hair." And I really didn't understand the
Okay,
concept of him saying he had to
she's
sponge it.
talking about the young man who came up to the set and was like, I'm interested in acting and this that, and the other. She's like, oh, well, you're handsome, so that's half the battle, whatever, whatever. And then Umar says, I want you to wash, condition, and sponge my hair. I wasn't there, so I can't attest to this. But Marianne Lorient is a very credible and reliable person. She was there. So I think it's just weird. It's just odd.
And then he had his little, um, like, um, like a carry bag, and he opened the carry bag and he pulled out a little travel little bag, and he showed me. It's not like the sponge you do dishes, but it's a sponge. It's actually a
So
sponge.
let's
And
fast
he's like,
forward a
yeah,
little
after
bit.
I wash his hair,
I love
I
the details
condition
that she's
it.
sharing,
I do
but in
emulsify.
interest
I
of
mean, he was
time, let's just fast forward a little bit.
it was late. We wrapped at 2 o'clock. He crashed on the couch. Family, family. I, Lorient Vision Production, booked the hotel room. There was no couch. There's a chair because my sister and I,
Wait,
once
hold on.
we
Hold on.
look fresh. He's going straight from the airport. I said, oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. Okay.
Travel little bag, and he showed me. It's not like the sponge you do dishes, but it's a sponge. It's actually a sponge. And he's like, yeah, after I wash his hair, I condition it. I do a motion. I mean, he explained it. And he said, yeah, it's going to look real nice. He's flying out. He wants to look fresh because when he arrived, he got something to do. He wants to look fresh. He's going straight from the airport. I said, oh, okay. Now, family, listen to me. Just listen. I want all y'all to listen and then
I'm
take
listening.
this and ponder on it. When we finished at 2 o'clock, the driver drove him at the hotel with the young man. That was our third day of filming. Nobody made anything notice. He's getting his hair washed and spun. The next morning, the driver picked him up. So the next morning, this is wrap. We have like a nice little brunch. Checkout time for him was checkout time was at 9 a.m. Um, they pick him up for a hotel. We have like the closing, and then I think his flight was like 2 in the afternoon, 2 to 3. Don't get me lying, I can't. It's been 3 years, but I know it was early afternoon. So the driver picked him up with the young man, and then again I saw the young man. No one asked any question, and it was probably best if he didn't say anything. He blurred out, "Yeah, man, he had to wash my hair. He had to wash my hair. It got late, but it was late. We wrapped at 2 o'clock. He crashed on the couch. Family, family. I, Lorient Vision Production, booked the hotel room. There was no couch. There's a chair because my sister and I, one
She just said family. Family. She said, I booked the hotel. She said there was no couch. Well, when she booked the hotel, it's not like, you know how sometimes they'll say, do you want a double or a single? Like, do you want a king or two queens? Excuse me. Do you want a king or two queens? But I don't think it's going to tell you like the the exact fixtures in the hotel room. Like if it was said like a pull out bed, then okay, then you can insinuate that it was a couch. But if it's just a regular couch, I don't know if the hotel is going to describe that yes, it has a refrigerator there, it has a couch, it has an ironing board. I don't know how specific they get. When I book a hotel room, I think the only thing that's really uh, that is really relevant or germane to the booking is the bed size. You want a full, two fulls, a queen, two queens, a king. I think that's it. But I don't know. I don't necessarily, in on all defense, in Umar's defense, I'm just gonna say I'm not sure if they specify a couch or not. But even if they don't, that's also a little questionable that Umar didn't want the young lady being seen with him first thing in the next morning because people would draw all kind of conclusions, but it's okay for him to be seen with a young man first thing in the morning. That alone is a little sus, as we're saying nowadays. That alone is a little sus. So, but let's continue. Let's continue because she's dropping tea, y'all. She's dropping tea, y'all. Where y'all straws at? Where y'all spoons at? Y'all about to sip this up because she's dropping it.
We booked, paid for the hotel. I went to a Giant Eagle. I got some refreshment. I got some veggie chip. I got some stuff, and she came with a basket. She came with a basket. We load the basket, and I bought Avion water because that's what he requested. And we put in the room for him to have snack.
Holy shit balls. Oh, holy shit balls, y'all. Hot damn. She just debunked what I was saying. I haven't even seen this part of the video. She just completely debunked what I was saying. Because I was like, well, how do y'all know exactly what's in the room? Y'all, they went up and basically set up the room before Umar even got there. So they knew what was in the room. So when Umar is talking about, yeah, he slept on a couch, that kind of reminds me of when they were doing that interview with Kevin Hart, Puffy, and Usher. And Puffy was like, yeah, when we wake up in the morning, we be fighting over the frosted flakes. And then Usher just kept stoic. He just kept a stone face because he was like, dude, shut the fuck up. You are spilling the tea right now. And then when Kevin Hart was like, wait a minute, yo, what? Fighting over the precipice when y'all wake up in the morning, like, what y'all doing waking up together in the morning? And then Puffy tried to switch it around. Y'all, there was no couch. So what is Umar talking about? There was no couch. So where did the young lad sleep? On the floor? Where did the young lad sleep if there was not a couch present in the room that Marianne Lorient saw because her and her sister went and set up the room for Dr. Umar's arrival? Oh.
I was with my assistant. This is before he landed
Oh,
in
her
Houston.
assistant, not her
It
sister,
was
her assistant.
one bed, a chair. There's a desk and a chair and like a sitting chair, the bed, the desk and a chair, and then the refrigerator. I entered the room with my assistant because we put a welcome basket for him. So when he walked in, and when we put the welcome basket, we.
I'm sorry, y'all. She ain't lying. She ain't lying. Marion Lorient, outside of the little tale about the young ingenue's cousin having to give the homeless man $20, having to give the homeless man a blow job for $20. That right there sounds a little questionable. Like you're gonna get $20 from a homeless man. Uh, That's a little dubious. But everything else that Lori I've ever heard her say, it sounds all legit. And this right here, y'all, she's not lying. She isn't lying. So, what is the truth? Where did this young man sleep? Why is a young man going to Umar Johnson's hotel room at 2 something in the morning to wash, condition, and sponge his hair? Because he has to look fresh and crisp because he is flying out or he is going to someplace else as soon as he leaves whatever location this is. This is why you have to mentally free yourself from the prison so that you are able to, your mind is free to go to those places that says, wait a second, that's not computing. Like, okay, but there is something that's very murky right here. Let's take a look at this. Let's take this into consideration. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Let's go.
Stop at the desk. I returned the key, because the room was already paid and rented for. I said, well, here's the key. When he checked in, you guys could just go ahead and give him the key. And they're like, do you want us to rekey it? And, I can't remember word for word, but we were done. When he walked in, because we're having run, this is his farewell. We're wrapping up. Yeah, it was late. It was late. He crashed on the couch. Now, and when he said that, I remember, sometimes you kind of realize, I'm like, cow, ain't no couch in the room. But I didn't focus. I didn't focus too much on that. When I sat on that porch, I had that conversation with that young lady. My heart ripped apart. He put her out because he has to protect his image. He's supposed to be this great black leader. He's going to open a school. He's going to sculpture black mind. He's going to give a black scholar.
Mm, mm. He's going to sculpture black minds. Well, he is. He is sculpting black minds. And let me tell you why it's so easy for him to sculpt black minds, because black minds is so malleable, it's so mushy, because it has given itself over to the prey, the predator. It has given itself over to the narrative, to the propaganda machine by subscribing and assigning itself to being a victim, that the mind becomes mush. And so, therefore, anybody can come along and just take and sculpt the mind how they feel best suits them. So when she says that, he's a quote black end quote leader, that he sculpts yeah, and right, he does sculpt minds, which is why he was able to pillage millions of dollars from donors. And this is why the mental chiropractor to realign your mind is here, so that you can elevate your frequency and you don't vibrate where the people like Umar Johnson, where they vibe. Because if you don't vibrate on the same frequency, that you don't come into contact with people like that. So this is why it's so paramount important to elevate your frequency. So people cannot prey on you simply because of your skin, simply because of the narrative that you subscribe to. When you buy into this narrative, oh, if you're black, that means this, that means that you're at a disadvantage. That means that you are limited, that you need all kinds of assistance. You need a head start. We need to lower the bar, the standard for you. Y'all keep subscribing to this, because at this point, you have no one to blame but yourself for creating the monster of Umar Johnson. Black consciousness community. There's no such thing. There is only one consciousness. Consciousness is not segmented, it's not compartmentalized, it's not assigned to different groups of people. There's only one consciousness. And if you don't align yourself with that source, that supreme source energy, then you'll forever be lost looking for yourself, looking to find your place, looking to find your value and your worth, looking to find validation. You will forever be lost. You will never find that from one solitary person because it doesn't come from the external. But let's continue. But that was very interesting when she said that he was here to sculpt the black minds. He sure in the hell was. And look how he sculpted them. Hit that cash app. Hit that cash app. PayPal. But whatever it is. FDMG. We're taking resumes at FDMG at Gmail. How come you ain't got a website, dude? How come you ain't got a website to where the resumes are to be sent to FDMG hires at fdmg.org? Like, what the fuck? Like, what, huh? Send your resumes to at gmail.com. Dude, I need you to have a website. You got thousands upon thousands of dollars. And if you have a website, you didn't set up an email, you didn't pay for the email package of the website. Okay, y'all.
He put her out. She said, Miss Marianne, I fought with him because I know I couldn't give back. This girl don't have no gas on her money. He fought, like, picked her up and put her out the room. A female. She's younger than I am. She's younger than Umar, but she's of age. She's of age. You put her out. You put her out, but you let him wash your hair, sponge your hair, and stay the night. Family.
I just said that.
This is the character of a man that we're dealing with. That's why when.
But these are the antics of the Black consciousness community. Now, I'm not saying that the young actor, I don't know if she was of the Black consciousness community. I'm not saying that. But this whole drama, how messy this all is, and you want to call yourselves a community, and this is what you put out, this is what you produce. Like, come on. People will look at this and think you as a joke. Be careful of how you're branding yourself.
All of us sat and nobody kind of want to give that return of fee, I didn't flinch. I didn't flinch. Because you know why I didn't flinch? This man, I am a person that he connected with. He reached out to me. I didn't know that man from Adam. I was respectful from day one. I became a loyal donor to your cause.
See, and this is another part of it, right? So when you're a part of a community and you have this seed of loyalty that is just innate within the community, and you're supposed to just be blind loyal to people, to the cause, and therefore you don't question, and therefore you don't speak up in the moment in the way that you should speak up, because you are part of this community. And that's how cults are created. And one could say that Umar is a cult leader. One could say that. I don't know, I'm not part of the community, so I can't speak to that, but what I'm saying is this is how these things are born. But it's all frequency. It's all frequency. So these people all magnetized to one another. And but I just want to implore the quote Black in quote consciousness community. First of all, exit, leave. Nothing productive, nothing progressive is going to come out of that movement. There's no such thing as a homogenous movement that is going to attain the goal that you're going for. There just isn't. Let me save you your heartache, your blood, sweat, and tears. It's not happening that way. Okay. So just exit, just stop. Stop needing to be accepted. Stop needing to be seen. See yourself. Accept yourself. Do your own self work, and you will find your own self worth. And you won't need a savior to come speak for you. You won't need a leader. You'll be your own leader. And that's how you are designed to be. You are a sovereign being. You have your compass within you. All you got to do is go within, tap into it, and you'll be directed and guided to where you need to be to get to where you want to go. Stop looking for leaders.
I was a friend. I was kind. And then we embarked on business together, and this man turned around and tried to destroy me financially. When we were in the chamber, they're explaining to me the legality of what was going on when I received paper from him, which I had to sign. I had to sign.
Let me fast forward this a little bit because we're coming to the end.
And yes, he gets paid for a lecture here and there. That's not a consistent stream of income. He's living off of hard earning, hard working, earning people's
Yep.
money.
Yep.
And then he comes,
Donation.
he's constant. This, he's, oh my God, I'm emotional. He comes, he's disrespectful, he shows no humility.
Yeah, he doesn't. She's right. Let me see else. Let me see how she closes this out.
So much to be thankful for, you know. I'm gonna bring in the Christmas service, and this time of year, think of him. Sometimes we get all caught up with the gift, the hustling, the bustling, but the season is about him.
Okay. So that's it. We got through the video. And like she said, if when you stop to think about it, if y'all look at it, like Umar Johnson is not some big prolific speaker that's taken to the stage of thousands of people. And that's where, most of his money is coming from. No, he's speaking in front of little audiences, 30, 40 people that cannot be paying that much. And he may be going overseas to speak, but again, it cannot be paying that much. So it's like, where's the money coming from? How is his life being supported? And he doesn't have a home. So, you have a leader, y'all. You have a leader who is homeless, who is speaking from a hotel room or a rental car or outside. Every now and then you may catch him back in his mama's closet and or washroom, the washer dryer room, wherever it is that Lenon says. I'm not sure, but you don't have a person who has stability. You don't have a person who has a home. And this is a person who says that they're going to help you and your kids, help you and your sons, whatever diagnosis that they have. And let me ask you something. This is what you should, and I hope there are some Umarians here, who's some Umar supporters. Ask Umar, when is the last time he recertified his school psychologist certificate or whatever it is that he has? Is he current? When is the last time he took his certification? All right, so y'all, you have to take back your mind. You have to take back your hijacked mind, your apprehended mind, your imprisoned mind, because if you don't, Umar is just one of many. And y'all can't, play woe is me. I am the victim. You're vibrating on their frequency, which is why you attracted them. So raise your frequency, raise your vibration, free your mind, come out of victimhood, come out of the narrative, come out of the false labels of race because it doesn't exist, it's made up. Blumenbach. Look at the person. Blumenbach made this up, y'all. And the colonials took this and created a whole universe out of it and damaged and destroyed so many people's lives. And some humans have experienced such detrimental, inhumane treatment behind false labels. So this is Tezra signing off. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your Christmas. I hope you had a beautiful Christmas today. And remember to, be in power, stay in power. This is the Mental Chiropractor where I'm here to help you realign your mind. I'm signing off and I will see you in the next session. Peace.